Is marriage even worth it? This is a great conversation that I have continuing the series of Can We Talk, again with Kian and Lyud. And today we just discuss marriage in the 21st century. Is it worth it? Why do we still, as Christians, aspire to have marriage? Should we still aspire to have marriage? Is there any point? I believe there is, definitely, of course. However, I feel at the same time Christians can fall into the idealization of marriage. But that's something we'll speak about on another video. But as for now, let's speak about marriage in the 21st century. Is it worth it? Let's find out. Next question is there any point in even getting married? We're living in a society now where relationships are nice, but marriage, to be fair, is not really what it used to be. So is there any point?
I've got quite a bit to say about this. So do you want to go first?
Yeah, mine's quite easy. I mean, not for religious reasons. I don't see the whole... Personally, I just want to get married because the whole ceremony, the honeymoon...
This guy just wants a party, man.
I just want a fat party for my wedding. But no, I've realised, as you said, marriage has changed from what it was, because we've spoken about this a tiny bit. But I don't see it as necessary. I also see it as more of a... making everything difficult, really. Because if you truly love someone, you don't really need to get married. You don't have to prove it with marriage. Some people like to, go ahead, but it's not really a necessity to prove someone's love.
Okay.
Agree. Damn it, I forgot everything I was going to say.
Let's go.
That's so annoying. That's really annoying.
Okay, let me go somewhere.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. So the reason why for Christians marriage is still something that a lot of us desire. But the true beauty, this is the way John Piper puts it, and I love the way he puts it. I'm paraphrasing, but the true beauty of marriage is woven into the mystery and the beauty of the gospel and what Christ done for us at the cross, in terms of the fact that Christ chose to reveal himself as the bridegroom and the church as his bride. So this love that he had for us, whilst we were still sinners, was just an outpouring of his love, and he chose to be in a covenant relationship with us even when we despised him. So it's like this covenant agreement that regardless of what you lot do, I will not move. I will be here. Yeah. It's unconditional. In the same way it should be now reflected in our marriage. Our marriage should be a snapshot of this love, where once I'm in union with you, this is it. There's no, we've been socialized to believe in, there's a one out there. No, the one you choose to marry is the one. The one that you choose to marry is the one. That's why you don't just go into any marriage willy-nilly. You feel what I'm saying? That's why you have counsel, you're sober-minded, you make sure you take your time in it. Because our marriages should be snapshots of the union that Christ has with his bride, which is the church. It's not just as simple as I feel in you, you're paying, you're dank, you make me laugh, let's have babies, bro. They'll be cute. It's not that thing. This is a deeper thing still. Go there.
Quickly to add on to what you said, more in counter to what you said, I do agree that there is no such thing as the one. There's 7 billion people in the world, depending on what your sexuality is, could be less than that or more. But chemistry, there's many factors that go into the relationship. You don't need to have Christ at the forefront to unconditionally love someone, and you don't need a marriage to do that either. Like Lyud said, several centuries ago, the main reason why people got married was, the main reason why a lot of wealthy people got married was to unite powerful families together. That was, and there was financially, it was a large incentive. I think if you bring it to the modern day, there's very little financial incentive to get married. Firstly, there's a couple tax breaks, but not too many. I think it's harder to be someone's medical proxy as well if you're not married. But my main issue is you don't. There's no who. Why should a greater figure tell you how to have the most successful marriage? Do you get what, I don't know how to very verbalize this, but I don't need whatever is the best way for me and my partner will be. That's how we're gonna do it. If not, another being does not need to be at the forefront of it. I can appreciate that the love itself is good, and if what you're saying is true, and Jesus, did all X, Y, and Z, and all these good things and amazing things, which I don't doubt that some things may have occurred, but again, I am yet to see solid evidence of that.
Most people are.
I wholeheartedly agree with that level of love. Yeah, I aspire to, but like I only aspire to it. I don't need there's many things that go into a relationship, and yeah, you don't. I feel like I've just waffled. I've kind of just gone in a bit of a circle.
But I hear your point. Though. I think there's a one question what was
it's just not necessary.
But why Christ at the center of it? Why do I need someone here over me? In the center
it's not
of it?
like there's two people. In the traditional archetypal relationship, there's two people in it. If you want to have more, fair enough, good for you. It doesn't. I don't
Do you allow more?
Actually, it's polyamory.
Obviously, it's not
really.
New Covenant. Obviously, when we see the Bible, marriage explained in the Bible is between a man and wife. That's just facts.
Okay, so I can.
But yeah.
Wait, but it has to be a man and wife.
But let's answer the first one. But that doesn't mean. No. But what was I going to say about polyamory? Me, in terms of whether I allow it.
No. Christianity.
Yeah. Clearly, it's man, wife. Clearly, that's clearly.
Outdated.
Okay.
I see. That's another thing. Like, my big thing is people should just be allowed to do whatever they want, as long as it is not of
Beautiful.
harm.
Beautiful.
I know he's gonna try and attack this and break this down.
Beautiful. Hey.
Autonomy is very important. If you want to be in a polyamorous relationship, go for it. Do not let a book dissuade you. As long as it is not of any harm, you know what you're doing. It is consensual and so forth.
Why does it not have to be of any harm?
Because
right now everything is completely.
Some people because from a young age we are programmed to believe that.
What if my autonomy
we're like you said, but society has programmed us to believe that marriage and relationships are between man and woman and two people. What if you do, and some people want to go against that grain, and that's okay, but it goes against their natural instincts, and it may lead to them making adverse.
Let me take notes because I forget.
Decisions.
I think of a lot of points in my head and I forget. So
yeah, people. If an adult wants to have a polyamorous relationship with other adults, then
it feels like Christianity is a tiny bit limiting, and it's sort of used as a factor. I want to say fear factor because you sort of explained it's not really a fear factor, but it kind of is. I imagine as someone who's in a very religious family, I imagine it's terrifying to admit something like I'm in a polyamorous relationship or I'm dating someone the same sex as me.
Yeah.
That must be terrifying, and that's sort of based not because of religion, but because of the outlook on.
But then again, there's non-religious people that also are against.
In terms of
I'm not saying that all of them are
religion. Being religious is not like a bad word. However, in Christianity and modern Christianity anyway, we don't call ourselves religious because that speaks to in the Bible there were Pharisees, those who would say a lot of things. They would give God a lot of lip service, but their hearts were far away from Him. So we don't call it religiosity. We call it relationship. What we do is because of the relationship that we
have with God.
That we have with Christ. It's not necessarily us being religious and legalistic and boom, 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 boom. Because that legalistic framework breeds a shame culture, and that's not what this is about. This is about Christ forgiving us regardless of what we do. So in this family, it's good that you brought up, we are open and able to speak about anything, regardless of how far we fall.
Okay.
We can speak about anything, especially with
Wait, what do you mean by how far we fall?
If we do madnesses, madness.
Okay.
Madnesses. If we can, because that's the nature of relationship we have with God. God is not holy. He's holy, holy, holy. Yes, righteous, perfect. Yes, but He wants relationship. He wants intimacy, and for that, it requires a level of vulnerability. you cannot have intimacy without vulnerability, and vulnerability requires transparency, which means revealing stuff, not only being honest and when someone asks you telling, but confessing. Also, just saying because it's on your heart, not just waiting for someone to come and press you. You feel what I'm saying? This is not about, cool, this is a one righteous, perfect, holy God who I cannot tell anything to. This is a righteous, perfect, holy God who wants to know everything. He already knows it's on your heart. So let me in. Let me in. What are you hiding? I know it anyway. You feel what I'm saying? And answering the question about why Christ and that, I think here you're speaking about doing what you want to do, autonomy and that. I just cannot. So essentially, you do believe in morals, but you believe that we should follow our own morals, our own moral compass. I think. Let me go.
Some people's morals can be bad though, and that's cool. That's unfortunate.
So,
and that's how it is. There's bad people in the world.
Yes,
that's just how it is.
Believe in bad. If you believe in these moral laws, you believe in good and evil. You must also then believe.
I wouldn't say good. I wouldn't say evil.
Say good. Okay, good and bad.
Just good is just a synonym for just negative acts, positive acts.
Okay, let's just call it bad.
Yeah, bad.
Let's call it bad.
It's just a word. It's a label.
So you believe in good and bad. You believe in moral laws. You believe therefore must also believe in a moral lawgiver, because if you don't, then there's not absolute truth. Then it's completely subjective.
Yeah, because morals. That's the whole point of morals. They are subjective.
If they're completely subjective, then what is stopping someone from saying my autonomy is guiding me to do stuff that is harmful? You see the problem there? Exactly. That's where we fall into problems. That's why there needs to be objective truth. There must be objective truth. The same.
It's ever constant.
It's a constant. We cannot have subjective. That's how we have people like Hitler saying what I was doing was right. And if you believe in moral subjectivity, you believe in people like Hitler being allowed to do what they do, which I do not think you do. So there needs to be a constant. Fam, you see what I'm saying? There needs to be a constant. There needs to be a standard to which we aspire to achieve or get to live by, because otherwise we can do anything. Because my moral compass could tell me harming someone is not immoral.
But I'm telling you it is.
Huh?
I'm telling you, I would tell you. And my parents told me it is.
Okay, but my parents told me killing people is great.
Yeah.
Okay, but
and it's
the majority of society. Yeah, but the majority of society.
And there's no truth. It doesn't matter, because the majority of society is wrong. Because my truth is my truth, and I have to be able to live by it.
No.
So let me kill you right now.
No. But that's not
objectively it is wrong.
But what is the objective?
But so there is objectivity. So there is. So
people as a whole can decide. One being does not determine things. These are the set laws. You cannot do X, Y, Z. Who said?
What if these very moral? Okay, I hear that. But what if these very morals that you were even battling with are given by him? Then can he not be the standard? If they are given by him, if they are created by him, can he then not? Is he then not within his right?
I don't disagree that God can't be the standard. It's just.
Why? You would prefer to be the standard?
I mean, who wouldn't want to be the moral standard? I'd love to be, but I can't.
I'm so happy that you admitted that.
I'm a human. I make bad decisions. That is natural.
I feel
that's what separates us from machines. We do dumb things.
Facts. And I feel that's the crux of it. Like, a lot of us want to be our own gods in terms of we have complete autonomy, as you said. We run off our own or function off our own moral compasses. That's what guides us, and we do not need to submit or bend the knee to a higher power because I know best. And that's the whole, my view, problem is that everyone thinks they know best. Like, Christians
I don't think I know best though.
Okay, but you're saying I should be able to pattern myself. Essentially, I shouldn't be submitted to someone who does know better. So essentially, you don't have to say it directly, but you're indirectly saying that. If you're saying
repeat that again.
You're inadvertently saying or indirectly saying, should I say, that I know best because I am gonna govern my own life.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying? No, you don't have to directly say it with words, but by saying I am my own, I'm gonna run off my own moral compass. I know better, therefore I can do this.
I sense that I don't really have a counter argument to this, but I'm gonna say, okay, what makes you objective? What makes Christianity objectively better?
Beautiful, cool.
With all due respect, almost all the seven. I think there's 7 monotheistic religions in the world. Sure the 7 main religions, 90% of what they say is the same. Do no harm. Really? Do upon to others what you do. You know, the golden rule. I used to be a Muslim. almost everything that was said in Islam was almost there are discrepancies.
Yeah.
And that 10% can affect a lot. I'm not discarding that.
Yeah.
I know, but the rules that all humans should follow are the same.
Okay, let me land to that. This is why I disagree. Before my people get onto me, this is why I disagree with that. It's a bit long-winded, but
sorry. Where it becomes hard. Where it becomes hard is when there's ethical grey areas. That's when it becomes hard.
Okay.
So, like, for example, adultery. Say if it's not you. Say if you're the other person, but you've got no relation to the person, the other person. If I mean, like the person who's been
why were you sitting for
adultered on?
Yeah.
Yeah. You have no loyalty to that person. Should you or should you not do it? Like, even though you have no relationship to that person, you don't owe them anything. The moral and just thing to do is still to not act upon your, your lustful desires. But it still happens. It's unfortunate, but it happens.
Yeah.
So
I guess the question is, why is Christ different?
Yeah.
Cool.
He built different. Sorry.
I just very nice. I think that it's a common thought that all world religions are fundamentally the same and just a bit different, superficially different. But it's actually the reverse.
I said that 10%.
Yeah.
Yeah. I chose my words carefully.
Yeah. Well done. But like, fundamentally, they are different.
No, they're not.
Wait, let me land. Superficially, they are the same. Superficially, live right, do this, be good to your neighbor. They're the same. Fundamentally, why we do what we do is completely different. The founders of our faith are completely different. We believe in our only begotten Son, Jesus Christ, God God incarnate, came down to dwell amongst us.
Said Muhammad.
No, but he was not God. He's just a prophet. He's not God. He's a prophet.
But was Jesus not a prophet as well?
No. That's what people call. That's what people think, or people outside of the religion think. Fundamentally, at the centerpiece of our faith is Christ. You remove Christ, you remove Christianity. With all of these other things, you do not need that. Their founder could be replaced with someone else, if you know what I'm saying. Because if Christ is not God, if he didn't do what he said, he done, everything crumbles. Other things. There's not one centerpiece where everything lives or dies by. Someone else could have been sent. There can't be another God. If we believe in objective truth and that there's one God, there can't have been another God that was sent. It could have only been Christ that done what he done. With Islam, if Muhammad wasn't chosen, he could have chosen another prophet. He could have chosen anyone to do what he done.
Admittedly, no, that's right.
Establishing Islam, he established it, yeah?
Yeah.
Someone else could have established it. But by virtue of Christ being God, that's impossible. It couldn't have happened. So why we do things also is fundamental. We do everything we do in response to God's love. Because we believe that it's his spirit living within us, giving us the power to do all of these things. Other faiths, religion is about what can I do to now get closer to God. That's how you hear that phrase. How do I get closer to him? With Christianity, it's he's living within you.
You don't need to.
You're doing this because of your proximity. You're doing this because of your closeness. It's nuanced. It's so subtle, but it's fundamentally different. Because this is how people in religious spaces get burnt out and feel like they're not good enough and feel like they're not holy and worthy enough because I'm trying to do. I'm trying to aspire to these perfect standards that me in my imperfection I cannot get to because you're perfect. How can I get to be like a perfect God when I'm imperfect, I'm flawed? The beautiful thing about Christianity is that once you give your life to him, you become a new creation. You've heard that phrase, I'm guessing. A new creation. His righteousness is imputed to us. So we can now live and walk by the Spirit where what we do in response to God's love is not out of compulsion, it's not out of force. It's because we genuinely want to do it. So it's not a thing where we do get burnt out if we don't understand this. But it's a thing where we shouldn't get burnt out because what we do is an extension of who we are. We're not trying to aspire to something. It's an extension of us. So that's why they're fundamentally different.
In your opinion, Christianity is objectively better than every other religion in the world.
The reason why I'll give it to you, and you'll probably concede to this fact as well, is because if I present to you an argument, and there's a contrary argument to that, and we believe in objective truth, only one can be true, and that's why I can say that with assurance that if I tell you that there's one God and it's Christ, and I believe that objectively, I would then be going against myself. My what I just said would be self-defeating if I say my God is true, but also your God as well. If I say there's one, there cannot be two. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If we're saying there's objective truth here, that's so. It does nothing else. No other alternative makes sense.
Is your God, or Jesus?
Yeah.
Is that the same God as Allah? Or as they're different gods?
No, they're different.
They're different gods.
I think.
Let's say in a world where God exists.
Yeah.
I don't know if God does or doesn't. 90
seconds, sorry.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna quickly. Me and Josh have spoken about this one, so
Yeah.
I know he's got a counterpoint, but I want to get it to the viewers.
To the masses.
What I said to Josh is, there's not that much difference between me and him, where I don't believe in, like, let's say X number of gods or religions. The only difference is Josh doesn't believe in X minus 1.
Ricky Gervais said that.
Yeah, I stole it from him, I can't lie. But he doesn't believe in Allah, he doesn't
One
believe
less
in...
God, yeah.
That's the only difference. You just don't believe in one less religion.
But that one difference is a big
Obviously,
difference because he's
I
committed his whole
believe-
life to that one difference.
Yeah, exactly. I believe is why the reason why that argument doesn't really have grounds is because that one difference saying I'll give you this argument with chimps, 95% the same, but that 5% changes everything. This one difference changes everything. It's not just again people think because with other world religions like religion is a piece of the pie. I like my religion, but I like my career. Fam, this
religion is the
Christ is the pie, fam. He is the pie. And that's the thing, it's hard to understand how you can give your life to someone that you can't even see, but that's the thing, it is the pie. It is life. Like, oh yeah, Kian's gone, his views are his views are too extreme, so we kicked him off. Yeah. You have no place for that here.
Can't have
No, I'm joking. He had to leave, he had to leave basically, so we haven't kicked him off.
So do you believe in remarrying?
If you're widowed, obviously you can remarry. If basically it's simple. Yeah.
You can't get divorced then. Really.
Oh yeah. If you have been had a divorce, you can. The thing with this is there are many things that we shouldn't do. Like divorce is something that God hates, and because why? It's Christ. He's the bridegroom. We are the bride. He's never going to divorce us, regardless of how many times we cheat on him. Cheating would be idolatry in a sense. It's putting someone else on the throne of our hearts instead of him. That would be cheating. But although he doesn't like it, adultery is the only one where we are excused. If someone is adulterous, you can technically you have legal grounds to but. I'm saying
what about
this.
domestic abuse?
Domestic abuse is not detailed in the Bible, but yeah, don't stay in an abusive relationship. Domestic abuse, fam. If someone's slapping you up and they're happily slapping you up, they don't want to change. I don't see how staying makes sense.
Just hypothetical. Just what if you are in a marriage, both religious, is there a circumstance where someone uses a religion against you? So they're doing something to hurt you, and they're going, you can't leave. God, that you're not allowed because that's.
That would be spiritual.
That would be that is spiritual.
Yeah, that's spiritual abuse. So when you use the word of God, it's okay. Based the way you see the Bible's not the Bible. Christianity's been whitewashed. Christianity's been used for much good, but for much bad as well. So that is spiritual abuse. So the oppression of black people and using Christ or Christianity to do that. But you know what I'm trying to say? That is spiritual abuse. These type of things, obviously, God does not condone, and it's unfortunate because like the Bible is likened to a sword, right? It's likened to a sword in terms of it divides. Okay, so a sword can be used to so not as in kills people. It divides, yeah. So a sword can be used to protect. It can be used to kill. Okay. So these people have unfortunately used it to kill. I call them out. Make sure you call them out. It's not a thing where we tiptoe around them. Call them out.
That's difficult if you're being abused.
Yeah, it's very difficult. It's very difficult. Again, I don't like to speak things I haven't gone through because it's very hard. No. I haven't been abused.
Just assume.
But yeah, I wouldn't. Let's just put it like this: I wouldn't tell my daughter or son to stay. Yeah. Even if it meant just separating for a bit before you get divorced straight away. Even if they came and lived with me for a bit before they did, I wouldn't have them stay in that house. I wouldn't have them stay in the house. Okay. That's a fact.
So you're saying it's okay to sometimes take matters into your own hands, even if the religious
I don't think that's taking matters. I think that's using the wisdom of the Bible.
Yes, but there's no set rule of it. So you're saying you have an educated enough perspective to take matters into your hands.
Yeah, and that's what life is essentially. Not life. That's what Christianity not is, but that where there's no right or wrong. Dating, for example, there's no doctrine for dating. There's nothing you could go in the Bible and say, okay, this is how you date. This is how you find a spouse. That's how what you do is you use the parameters and the principles that the Bible has given you. I hope I'm in short. I just feel as if I'm not. I probably am though.
What?
I definitely am in short. I like
Yeah.
You use the principles and the parameters that the Bible has given you to govern dating. It's not that you go and you say, oh, it's not the Bible, I'm not gonna date, because the way society is now, dating is a thing. You feel what I'm saying? Some people still don't believe in dating. They believe in your friends. You like each other. You start courting, and courting is more. It's your lead into marriage. It's more. And to be fair, I'm not.
Be a great leeway for the next question.
Yeah, and I'm not completely necessarily against that. If you both like each other, you haven't said anything, but once you do say anything, you say cool. But it's just a lot of weight to say we are now going to marriage regardless.
Well, that's the thing. I would be scared to like anyone at this stage.
So it's very tough. But what I would say is, if I'm dating you, I have seen things in you that I would like to have in a wife. So I'm not gonna just date. I think dating with intentionality is key. I'm not gonna come to pursue you if all I want to do. Because again, if you're Christian, it should be the case that you're waiting until marriage, That's going to lead to the next question. So, me pursuing you is not that I just want to beat, because we're not beating. So it's because I feel like this is...
You generally see something for the future.
Exactly, so that's why I get the thing where it's leading to marriage, I hear that. But dating, going on a date, an event with someone doesn't mean I'm marrying you. If I go on a date with you and I find, okay, bet, it's done. But if we say, cool, we are now in a relationship, then bet. The end, not even the end point, but we will
end up there.
We'll end up getting married. That's the goal anyway, unless we see red flags and we see boom, boom, boom. But yeah, I'm not going to get into a relationship with someone I do not think
is suitable as a wife.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, woo! That was a good combo. We went off on a little bit of a tangent, I can't lie. We went on a little bit of a tangent, but that's just because marriage is so multi-dimensional. There's so many aspects and angles and sides that we have to look at marriage from. So yeah, that's why we went off on a bit of a tangent. I hope we answered the question. I hope I was able to present what Christians really think about marriage and show that being married to someone is deeper than just, oh, we get along, let's just get married and have babies, we're both cute, right? Obviously I've trivialized that a lot, but you get what I'm trying to say. But it's about, can we, in this marriage, am I going to glorify God more with you? Or do I glorify God more when I'm outside of this marriage? Because are we actually genuinely loving one another, or is this performative? Are we doing this for our love for Christ, or because of what we want others to think of us? There's so many things that we need to think about, but fundamentally, if I am not glorifying God by being in a relationship with you, then why am I in this relationship? So yeah, let me know what you thought about this discussion. Let me know what you want other Can We Talk topics to be on. Watch the previous Can We Talk video if you enjoyed this one. In a bit, love.